Alright, welcome. Hey guys, it's King of Charmanders here. One of my buddies told me, he's like, hey dude, if someone has Tropius, is it gonna be really bad for the Catch Cup? Yeah, okay, so Tropius can only be gotten in, I believe it's like, I think Africa and like some parts of that world. I'll cover it more in the technical summary of where you can get Tropius. However, if you do live in those areas, or if you spoof to those areas, hint hint, you can get Tropius. And Tropius has been known to be, well, since Relicanth got debuffed because of Ancient Power's nerf, Tropius is now the most powerful regional in all of Go Battle League. Nothing can really stop Tropius' dominance. Since the preseason, Tropius has been an absolute monster, and not having one actually puts you at a disadvantage. Not just for Go Battle League, but for Sylph as well, because like I said, Tropius is just that strong. Tropius has been featured in a lot of Go Battle League teams. It has been super strong and relevant since the preseason, and there's no signs of it going away anytime soon, because it's just that good. And that's because it sports an insanely tanky moveset. It maxes out at near 1941, near 1500, high stamina, high defense, and the low attack doesn't even matter too much because it has an incredible moveset. It has Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade, it has Air Slash Leaf Blade, and it has a really crappy move called Air Lace. But anyways, this move pool is incredibly strong. Leaf Blade is arguably the strongest charge move in the game. Air Slash charges quickly, allows you to get the Leaf Blade, and because of Leaf Blade and Aerial Ace, they both get the same type attack bonus, and it allows Tropius to spam a lot. Couple this with its insane bulk, it's going to get a lot of Leaf Blades and a lot of Aerial Aces on you, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Doesn't even matter that it has this many weaknesses, Tropius will deal a lot of damage unless you wall it with Steel typings, which because Registeel, other things don't seem to be too heavy in this meta, this thing's going to rock everyone's world. There's obviously checks to Tropius. It's not invincible, but it's just really freaking good. As you see, despite the fact that it has a ton of resistances, Fire, Flying, Ice, Poison, Rock, it's still hailed as one of the most powerful Pokemon in the entire game, and one of the most powerful ones for sure in Go Battle League Great League. You do have some resistances, Ground and Grass. Meganium hates you a lot, because if you hit Meganium, if you get a Meganium, guess what? You have really, really strong matchups against Meganium. Like, you pretty much wall it to death. You also are stronger against Fighting, Water, and Ground. Very powerful. Spammy moveset. And now here's the thing. I give Tropius, I'm just going to tell you right now, before I even say it, I'm giving it a 9, and you're just going to see why. I'm going to give it a 9, and you're going to see why. It's not as expensive as other, like, for say, if Melmetal is, like, other things, like legendaries, mythicals, it's not as expensive. Yes, it's 75k dust. However, a Tropius is incredibly valuable for Go Battle League. I got mines from Singapore Safari, so there's only 2 ways to get Tropius outside of living in Africa or surrounding areas. You actually either went to Singapore Safari or the Canada Safari, and Tropius were spawning in those 2 areas. So there's a legit way to get Tropius even if you don't live there. However, for the Catch Cup, the only legit way to get Tropius is to pretty much go to Africa and catch it there or the surrounding areas. In other words, unless you are from Africa, the only other way to get it is if you spoof there. That's pretty much the only way you're going to get a Tropius for the Catch Cup. Alright, so here I have custom rankings of PV Pokes. So when you take out Mythicals, the rankings do change. Believe it or not, Mythicals actually do change a meta, and they are very powerful. So when you take them out, you get this. So you got Scrafty, Wigglytuff, etc. in the top 10, and Tropius lands at number 31. So take out Mythicals, this is where Tropius lands, in the 2 shield. As a lead, you take out all grass types. You also take out some, like, Whimsicott. I'm guessing because you super place against Air Slash. You do lose against Charmers and Dragon Breath users in the 2 shield. I don't know if this changes, however, Dragonair and Dragonite do resist you, so that's probably a reason why Tropius doesn't do that well. However, Tropius is still incredibly dangerous. 525 and 545, these aren't bad ratings. Those are actually pretty close. Anything that's like 600, like Altaria, yeah, it's bad, but like 500 to like 550, this isn't a bad. That's not a bad rating at all. That's the 2 shield. In the 1 shield, as you see here, things change in the 1 shield. Tropius is number 24, taking out all the Mud Boys as well as fighters. Your key losses are the G-Fisk, which you can only hatch, Dragonair, Cresselia, Togekiss, and Umbreon. I don't foresee Togekiss, Umbreon, or Cresselia being available for the catch-up. If you do, there is a way you can get Cresselia. If you see that research one from a long time ago, you can get one. But other than that, it's difficult to get a Stunfisk, and it's difficult to use a Dragonair. Well, you could build one, so I don't foresee a lot of its weaknesses to be running around rampant. At least if you're a legit player anyways. I don't foresee it. As you see here, you beat Scrafty. You beat fighters pretty handily. Tropius is just super good. So Tropius is really awesome. And as you see, 24, 34, 24. In the closer, how strong is it? So in the closer, Tropius gets a little dicey, ranking at number 74. It kind of needs shields. You'll do strong against fighters, etc. However, things like Electivire, Stunfisk, Berserker, Medicham, this is when the shields start mattering, because if you get Ice hurts Tropius a lot. You'll survive an Ice Beam from an Azu. You won't survive the second one, though. I can tell you that much. So Tropius is extremely powerful still. Like, very strong in the lead, very strong as a switch. In the closer, not so much. However, if you do give it shield, it's a monster. We'll take a look at its strength a lot more in the Matrix. Alright, my favorite part of any part of my videos is the Matrix, because you get to see what you lose against, and you get to see what you beat. I have Tropius with both of its movesets here, Air Slash and Razor Leaf, so you can compare both and we'll see just how well you do against Catch Cup meta. I have a custom Catch Cup meta in the right, the top 39 right here. 2 shield scenario, here's the lead. So we get Tropius does very well against fighters. Scrafty, you blow up, you destroy Scrafty, especially with the Razor Leaf version. As you see here, you have strong matchups against Scrafty and Galarian Stunfisk. You do lose against Altaria and Alolan Marowak. I wouldn't foresee Alolan Marowak being super available. You can see Altarias, so if you do use it, just be aware. You beat Primeape. Zweilous murders you just because it's a Dragon type, so you do resist those Leaf Blades. I don't foresee a lot of Shadow Swampert. You beat Machamp, Dragonair with the Air Slash version, not with the Tropius, not with the Razor Leaf version. You beat Medicham pretty handily. You also beat Swampert very strongly, but I don't foresee a lot of Swampert running around. You beat Wigglytuff in the 2 shield. You lose against things like Abomasnow, but that's because it's Ice. Dragonite does do heavy damage, so does Dragonair. You beat Shadow Champ, you beat Sirfetch'd, Vigorite, so you beat fighters pretty much. You get Wall against Skarmory and Bastiodon, so just be careful of both of those. The Air Slash version does, however, beat Whimsicott, and you do beat Razor Leaf Tropius. So if you face a Razor Leaf Tropius, Air Slash wins very handily. As you see, having Razor Leaf actually flips a matchup against Charmers in the 2 shield, even against Magnezone. I don't foresee a Magnezone a lot. However, Razor Leaf also gives you a convincing matchup against Azu in the 2 shield as well. So Razor Leaf does matter. As you see, you beat a lot of matchups Air Slash does. You beat the same matchups Air Slash does. But Razor Leaf seems to be the better moveset if they have 2 shields. The 1 shield things kind of change. The 1 shield things get a little dicey, and this is where Leaf Blade might come in handy. As you see here, you still beat Galarian Stunfisk with the Razor Leaf version, but the Air Slash version you do not. You beat Scrafty with both versions. You beat Primeape, beat Shadow Champ, you also beat Dragonair. You beat a horde of things. This is when you'll win the 1 shield. In the 1 shield you'll start winning against Charmer. So you beat Wigglytuff. You beat Wigglytuff. You also beat Whimsicott. You'll also beat... Do you beat Clefable? Yes, I believe you do. But as you see here, you still lose against Ice types, Dragon types, things that basically resist you or super resist you, like Flyers, like Altaria and Skarmory. Very bad matchup, so you need to run. And things like Bastiodon, because Bastiodon's a monster, and those rocks really do hurt. As you see, you also beat Clefable with both versions. You also beat Gloom. Razor Leaf does flip an Umbreon matchup, but the Air Slash version flips the Dragonite matchup. As you see here, Razor Leaf does have some convincingly good play, especially in the 2 shield. Very powerful as you see here. Very strong. You still lose against some Melevin picks, so just be careful about Tropius in the ones. In the zeros, Tropius gets dicey because there's Ice Beam hurts a lot. You still beat things like fighters. As you see, you beat all fighters. Razor Leaf does still let you take down Medicham, but if Medicham has Ice Punch, it's gonna suck and it will KO you because it does heavy damage. As you see here, if we run the sim with an Ice Punch, here's what happens when you get punched by ice. It does a whooping 79 damage, which is almost half your HP, which is literally almost half your HP. Tropius is still a monster though, being able to take down Dragonites, Shadow Champs, depending on which moveset you have, and you can take down Razor Leaf Tropius as well. Of course, Razor Leaf gives you a better matchup against Charmers, and it seems like the Air Slash version gives you a better matchup against the Razor Leafers in the closing scenario. But as you see here, it looks like Razor Leaf's actually the better moveset for this meta. Air Slash is really good, however, Razor Leaf seems to be like the cream of the cake. If Tropius has shields, you'll still lose against whatever hardballs you, i.e. Maltaria Marowak. However, with this, you'll be able to beat Zweilous in the 1-0s. Still lose against Bomba and Skarmory, basically anything that hardballs you, or that is grass. As you see here, you beat the rest though. You also lose against Mandibuzz for some odd reason, but you know, Mandibuzz is also thick. So, I think it's because Mandibuzz does have a pretty standard moveset, and it is a flying type, so it will resist your moves. Up 2 shields into 2-0s, you only lose against AWAC and Skarmory. So Skarmory, AWAC, and you do beat AWAC with Razor Leaf in the 2. So you'll beat Razor Leaf. So Razor Leaf looks like it flips a lot. If you beat Bastiodon, you beat Bastiodon. Razor Leaf and Air Slash both have differences, so it does matter whether or not you carry one moveset or the other. As you see in the 2-1s, Air Slash goes to town. In the 2-1s with shield advantage, you take out a lot of the meta, mainly Abomasnow. You take out Abomasnow, you'll still take out Tropius, of course, and you take out Dragonite. So it looks like in the 2-1s with shield advantage, Air Slash gives you a huge advantage over a lot of the meta. So does Razor Leaf though, so don't think it's the end of the world if you're using Razor Leaf. If you look, Razor Leaf actually flips its own specific matchups. If you want a better matchup versus Charmers, use the Razor Leaf version. If you want better shield pressure and being able to still flip some top meta picks, you want to run Air Slash Tropius. As you see, Tropius is a monster, and I would still give it a 9 out of 10 despite the fact of weaknesses, just because it's been so dominant, and especially if you have a positive matchup, it does really, really well. Alright, so if you see here, here's a map of where you can get Tropius. Unfortunately, if you live on America, we're stuck with the Iron Bison, so you're just gonna have to stick with it. However, if you see the Catch Cup here, Heracross, you got, this is it's really interesting. As you see, Tropius can be caught in, I believe here, it's Spain, it's like South Africa, some parts of Spain, etc. According to the map right here and through Gen 3 Regional, Tropius is available in Africa, South Spain, and Crete. Never been there personally, but I do like traveling, so maybe one day. That's why I got Tropius. I personally got Tropius from an event. Again, Singapore Safari. Some people I know got it from Canada Safari. Either one, very powerful, very strong mon, and that's why it gets a 9 out of 10. The reason it gets a 9 out of 10 is because Tropius with Razor Leaf actually takes out Charmers in the 2s. In the 2 shield with Razor Leaf, or even with Air Slash, it has such play and versatility that it's extremely strong. It has a ton of bulk, so you can, as long as you avoid ice moves, I believe there isn't an ice move in the game that actually straight up KOs Tropius unless it's Blizzard from Whiscash. Like, literally, the only thing that will KO it is Blizzard from Whiscash. Like, one shot. That I know because I've done it before and I've seen it before. So, Tropius is a 9 out of 10. It's really powerful. The thing about it is the only way you can get it is from these areas right here. So, if you see one, either one, they spoof traded it, or they went all the way over here so that they can catch it. And it's really good for this cup. Charmers and fighters dominate in the Catch Cup, especially since a lot of things like Mew or like DD, a lot of good save switches or good mythical Pokemon are not available. So because of that, it actually does shift the meta to where like Charmers and fighters are really dangerous, and Tropius takes on all of them, especially Razor Leaf. Razor Leaf has a better matchup against Charmers. Strong in nearly all positions, especially with shield advantage. In the 1-0s, Tropius is a beast, or with shield advantage. It generates energy. It's bulky. It's great stat. The only bad thing about Tropius is just its available. Tropius gets walled by flyers, essentially like Skarmory and Altaria wall it really hard. You could still kill them with Leaf Blade though. Tropius is so good that even though it loses hard to its matchups, it can still Leaf Blade or Aerial Ace an Altaria or a Skarmory to death. I've done it before. You can still beat both of them. There's still ways to win, but it's really due to Tropius's bulk. Tropius is so bulky and it charges so quickly. It has such good play that it's able to defeat even its hard walls in certain scenarios. So Tropius is just really freaking good. That's why it gets a 9 out of 10. The only reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because it does get walled hard by flyers. You can still win, but it's a very rough scenario. And anything that gets walled, I can't give it a 0 because anything with something like that bad a matchup, I can't give it a 10. So I mean, not a 0. I can't give it a 10, but a 9 because it's extremely powerful. So does it? Will you get a huge advantage if you have one? Yes. If you have a Tropius for the Catch Cup, you have a pretty good leg up against a lot of the other competition. Now, if they have Skarmory, even if they have Skarmories or Altarias, which I can foresee happening, like some people will power up Skarmories readily available as well as, like I said, you could still beat them in certain scenarios. So Tropius is just really, really good. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you can get a Tropius, I would consider using it. I'm not saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's really freaking good. I'm not saying it's like amazing and it's going to like, well, it is amazing. I'm not saying it's going to get you like consistent like 25 and O's, but if you have one in the Catch Cup, you have a huge advantage. And if you power it up, you will do very well in the Catch Cup. As long as you pair it with something that covers Tropius' weaknesses. Like I said, because of its stat pull, because it's spammy, because it's literally dominated Go Battle League since its inception in the preseason, Tropius is a beast. I hope you guys like and subscribe if you like this video. And the saving grace is you can only get it from Africa, Chile, all the parts that I mentioned when we did the analysis. The bad thing is if they do have it, you're going to have a really rough time in the Catch Cup.